Welcome to the GoneAForeign Podcast. I'm your host, Nazim Zheek. GoneAForeign in patois means to travel abroad. And this is a travel podcast, but not just any travel podcast. I created this platform to inspire people to travel differently and to maybe change the way they think about travel and think that maybe it's something that could be for them. The GoneAForeign podcast will take you on a journey to life outside of the United States from the perspective of an AfroPat, a Black American expat. I'll take you on my journey as I migrate to Jamaica, and we'll talk to other expats about their journey as they leave or flee the United States in search of a better life. This has always been a goal of mine, being a first-generation American, my parents migrating to America from Jamaica to look for a better life. It's always been a goal of mine to live outside of the United States. Not that the United States hasn't always been the most comfy experience for me. Being a Black man, I've always felt that tension from an early age, whether that's from the police, from my peers, or in the workplace, or any type of situation. I could always feel everything is, oh, because I'm a Black man, oh, because of the color of my skin, whether that's being deemed as a threat or people perceive me as incompetent or anything to that effect. But I decided to move to seek a better life, one that won't get me murdered for the color of my skin. And I'll get into that a little later. But the GoneAForeign channel, the GoneAForeign podcast, wants to focus on relocation and vacation. I know in America, Black people typically go to the same spots when they think about traveling, whether that's back home to their families or they get the all-inclusive package. But that's never been my style. I've always liked solo traveling, backpacking. That's the type of travel I've been drawn to as of recently. And in 2018, I went on my first backpacking trip to Southeast Asia, and I had a blast. Stayed in hostels, met a whole bunch of people from all over the world, and it got me thinking, like, maybe I could live here, or maybe life could be better for me outside the United States. And this led me to going on another backpacking trip in 2019, where I went to Central America and I went to Guatemala, Belize, and Mexico. These aren't destinations you typically hear about Americans traveling. And I say this because when I travel to these destinations, usually I'm one of two or one Americans and definitely the only Black person there. And I think to myself, this is so much fun. Like, more people should be doing this. And historically, traveling has been something that has been perceived as a luxury, something that has been marketed mostly to the upper class. But I believe you can travel no matter what your socioeconomic background is, that traveling is something that can be for you. Whether that's, again, for a vacation, if you got a weekend, if you got a week, if you got 2 weeks, there is a place you can go to disconnect, reconnect, and enjoy yourself without breaking the bank. And here on the podcast, I'd love to have conversations with other people who like backpacking, other travelers, solo travelers, women travelers, people who've have experience traveling to Asia, traveling to Africa, traveling through Europe, traveling through Central America, traveling through South America. Just having a conversation with these people on about the do's, the don'ts, their safety tips, maybe how to pack the bag, maybe the places they stayed, just to shed some light on other ways to travel, other ways to learn and grow and have those life-changing experiences. Because for me, traveling has always been more than just going to have fun. It's always been a learning experience. And for me to go into someone's culture and immerse myself and taste their food, dance their dances, sing their songs, and ultimately it gives me more of a chance to connect to people when I meet them in experiencing their culture and ultimately having more patience and just being cognizant of the fact that there are multiple ways of doing things and maybe your way isn't the best or maybe it is or simply it's not a matter of better or worse, just different. And understanding one another can only make the world a better place. Why I decided to leave the United States? Simply because I've never really felt as if I belonged here. As a first generation American, m- most of us can agree with this notion that either too, you're not American enough or y- you're not enough when you travel to your country of origin. You're always feels as if you're not enough. But for me, I kind of embrace that. I know that I'm gonna stick out regardless of where I'm gonna go. So I'm just, I'm just gonna stick all the way out. And for me in America, it's not only just not being accepted, it's not ever feeling safe. Um, I've had guns pointed at me more times than I'd like to have had by police and have, interactions that could have gone one other way. I wouldn't be here right now. And being so aware of my mortality is not something I typically enjoy, and it's not something that everyone has to do in America. Not everyone has to always live on edge. And again, I think to myself, is there a better life for me somewhere else? And, you know, systemic oppression and the racial injustice that we face in America, it, it's tiring at times. I'm not going to front. Like I work in corporate America. I work as an accountant, and just the disrespect I might see on a daily basis is sometimes I wonder if this is something that I have to do or is this the right place for me? Because again, never once felt as if I was accepted or as if I was wanted or belonged. So for me, it was a easy decision to leave the United States and leave it behind. I'm sure I'll miss some things, and I'm sure we'll talk about that in later episodes down the road. But as of now, I'm excited to pack my bags and look for new life somewhere else. For everyone listening to the pod, appreciate you taking the time. But when I think about leaving the United States, I don't think of it as quitting. Hear me out. I'm here for the fight on white supremacy, racial injustice, and systematic oppression. I'm here for the fight. I've had my feet on the ground for as long as I can remember. And as of recently, with the current political climate, I've taken that step up a notch. By I find myself at protests. I've talked to the mayor of my town. I have talked with management at my job and how to reform the culture and policies to make it more suitable, diversity and inclusion, those hit words that they love using. How to make a more inclusive environment, for lack of a better term, in the workplace. And I I think this is one of the places where, for white people, may be the only time they have interactions with other Black people. So I find, for me, this is an important place to place my efforts, given that we are coming up, we are getting more educated, we do deserve these jobs, and not only just deserve these jobs, we deserve to feel comfortable and bring our true self to work every day. And as I push this fight, and as I move forward with this, again, I think to myself, is there a better life for us somewhere else? So as I continue to work from home, I'll work from home in Jamaica, and I will explore the world and talk to other people from around the world on their journey and how they have managed to not only move out of the United States, but find home and find a community where they belong. Also on the GoneAForeign podcast, I'd love to talk to people who have affiliations with other countries to promote travel to these countries that you may not necessarily think of when you think of exotic, sexy vacation, travel experience. So I'll bring people on the podcast to talk about other travel opportunities that you may not be aware of, but something that could suit your lifestyle, suit the things that you enjoy doing, and ultimately get you to a point where you can take a break, disconnect, reconnect, and enjoy life, because that's what this is about. So look forward for the next episode on the GoneAForeign Podcast. Next time you speak to me, I will have started my journey. Stay tuned on Instagram and check out some of my other YouTube videos. On all platforms, I am GoneAForeign, GoneA Foreign, FOREIGN, and Zimzima upon Instagram. And I'll catch you next time on GoneAForeign. Peace.